Hey man, what's happening? What's happening with everybody? Y'all know what it is. Pearl, man, I'm back. I got the crew. I got the hip hop crew with me. Me and my sister Kiki. Welcome to Let Me Kick My Shit with Pearl and Friends. This the hip hop edition, man. Hip hop ain't for suckers, man. I wanna introduce this very distinguished panel, man. You got DJ Nino, DJ Neens. I call him DJ Neens, man. Gonna give it up for Neens.
Hey.
My sister, man, Kiki. Now I brought Kiki on here because we had a discussion with DJ Abel, and she was so like not. I don't want to say to be a female. Yeah, she on point, like for real. So Kiki, welcome, and DJ Abel, Atlantic City, man. He on the road, bro. I appreciate you still. You know what I'm saying, showing up. Just left for DJ convention, man. We working, man, and DJ Leon is my big brother, man. Y'all know I talk about him all the time. Leon is my Africa Bambaataa. You know, if y'all know who that is, this is my guy. Yeah. I want to just get right to it. I don't want to waste no time. I've been waiting for this. I'm excited. I'm not gonna do a lot of talking today. I'm gonna take notes. And I hope y'all young fellas out here really sit in on this right here, man, because we're gonna take it back to when it first started. Like, these guys are part of the reason why we're still here to be able to do this thing. It was a hard fight. It wasn't sweet all the time. So I want to start with Abel. I want you to tell me what hip hop means to you and what it has meant to you, and then we'll just go around.
All right. Well, for me, hip hop is life and culture. I don't know what life would be like without hip hop. I'm fortunate to be in that first generation of hip hop fans. First record I ever got was Sugar Hill Gang, Rapper's Delight. It was the first record I got to physically put my hands on and bring it to elementary school, because as a reward, we got record day. And the teacher would let us play whatever our favorite record was. And that record was like the biggest thing that happened in life for me.
Right.
So
that's pretty cool.
Life and culture for me.
Right. No, that was my first record too. Kiki, talk to me.
Hey, I'm like DJ Abel, as I said before. It's a part of our culture. It's a movement. I mean, when you talk about hip hop, I get excited. You know, and people don't think I love hip hop. I gotta listen to me some hip hop going to work because I gotta get upbeat and up tempo. It's a part of us. It's a part of who we are. And you talk about Sugar Hill Gang, but we can go back to DJ Kool Herc. You know what I mean? And he started a lot of this back in the 70s. Yeah. So we go all the way back to where it originated from. Hip hop made me excited, man. I'm happy to be here.
I like that. DJ Neens, what you got? Well, talk to me.
What up? Hip hop is life to me. You know what I mean? It is life. I literally live and die hip hop. You know what I mean? I go back to hip hop. Sugar Hill was the first stuff that came out. But real talk, I started really paying the hip hop. Maybe when like UTFO came out, when the DJ started getting busy on the wheels and all that. That's kind of when I started paying attention to it. You know, heavy. You know, because that kind of stuff kind of started me on this lane of being a DJ. So I gotta give it to UTFO, Grand Mixer, DST. You know what I mean? Those people like that. Those got me into this lifestyle right here.
Yeah, UTFO put on a great show, man. Those concerts were dope. Shout out to UTFO. Hey, so Lee, I've heard this a million times, man. I want you to share this with with everybody. But tell me what hip hop means to you, bro. What has it done for you?
It's definitely culturistic, like what the brothers were just speaking on. You definitely got the elements of breakdancing, the DJ, graffiti, and the MC. My first exposure was actually Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder, which I think came out in 73, 74, around that time. To me, one of the greatest albums of all time. And it has little bits and pieces of the culture. And early James Brown, Pig Meat Markham, Here Comes the Judge came out in 1956. Sly and the Family Stone. I was on the streets when, hip hop was actually, taking place in New York City. I was living on the streets of New York. So my exposure to hip hop wasn't just the Sugar Hill Gang. It was way before, I seen it. I seen it building up. And I'm gonna give an unpopular opinion. The Sugar Hill Gang wasn't really the first real hip hop record. It was Super Rhymes on the streets of New York. Because in New York, we didn't want the culture to expand beyond the tri-state area. We wanted, this was our stuff. And what we embraced was Super Rhymes. This was our first record where we got an MC that was rhyming nonstop without a hook. And everybody who had a radio was playing Super Rhymes.
Jimmy Spicer.
Yeah, Jimmy Spicer. Everybody who had a radio was playing Jimmy Spicer, Super Rhymes. The Sugar Hill Gang was being played on the radio, where everybody on the streets was playing Jimmy Spicer. So that was my first exposure to underground hip hop.
Okay. I that's dope. That's deep. I like the fact that you brought in, James Brown and all that. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna say, for me, first of all, growing up in Atlanta, man, hip hop was different. It was a thing where we had to figure out who we wanted to be in hip hop and what we wanted to be. So the first years of hip hop in Atlanta was tough because a lot of the guys that were in hip hop in Atlanta, they weren't from it. They wanted to be from New York. So what's the word y'all used to use up top? There was a lot of perpetrating going on here in Atlanta. I swear to God, like for real, like cats was that I grew up that I know of Grady babies. Like it's cool to be a Grady baby now, but there was a lot of Grady babies in the early 80s acting like they was from the Bronx and stuff like that. So for me, it was about me gaining a sense of pride to be a rapper from the South, not so much Atlanta. I remember when I was calling myself the Southeast Mac one time, and I just say, oh, fuck it, I'm gonna take over the whole Southeast. And this was before people were talking about the king of rap and all that. I had that shit in my mind like in 85, but that's what it was. Hip hop is being competitive. It's on the basketball court. It's just life. It's when we wake up in the morning and we hit the streets, we go to school or whatever. So that's what it is for me. It's a whole culture. But what I would like to do now is I want to talk, because Nino, you mentioned some UTFO. So that means we have errors in hip hop, right? Just like you do.
Facts. It's definitely errors in hip hop. It's definitely errors in hip hop. Yeah.
I was talking to some young fellas a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking to these young fellas. They're pretty deep. When I say young fellas, I'm talking about 35 years old now.
Yes, sir.
I tell you how old I am, but we were talking about the best errors. And I just want to ask all of y'all, do y'all think is it fair to even compare the errors? Like it's similar to the sports thing, but how y'all feel about that? Nino, how you feel about that?
Well, I think you should compare the errors. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Each era brung their particular lane. I think you should. You know what I mean? My favorite era is like 90s, early 2000s. That's my favorite era. You know what I mean?
Name some of the songs from that era.
Well, that's the Biggie, that's the Bad Boy, that's the Death Row, that's the Tupac, that's that era. You know what I'm saying? Mobb Deep, and and all that Outkast, all that stuff came out during that era. You know what I mean? Okay. So that era is crazy to me. You know what I mean? The people that are 10 years younger than me, they love the 2000s. You know what I mean? So if my era is the 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
So
that shocked me. That shocked me coming from you. That's dope.
That is my lane. I love that lane. I can dance in that lane all day. You know what I mean? But now, I got, T Quest, she's a little younger than me. She's loving the 2000s. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now I have more respect for the 2000 era. You know what I mean? I liked it. I didn't love it, but now I'm learning to love that era because, I got to make sure she happy.
That's kind of what this particular show is about. That's dope. Kiki, what's the most influential era? You kind of deep, so I can ask you this. what's the best era for you?
I see. I'm a little different. My perspective. I don't have a best era. I think hip hop took new directions. So it went from James Brown, what was it, Get on the Good Foot. That's what my daddy used to love that song. And then it went to Run DMC and Sugar Hill Gang. And then the new direction started to be LL when he got a little romantic with it, and Public Enemy where, they were a little bit more political. I think hip hop just starts to take new direction.
Right.
I don't never compare it because I love it all.
I like that. I like it. You sound like somebody who just enjoy the culture.
I do.
Don't get too much. Yeah, that's dope. I like that. Leon, let me ask you something. What's the best era, bro?
I don't really get caught up in the best. Cause hip hop, with a political perspective, we wasn't into that. What's best? You know what I'm saying? Playing this one against that one. That was the inception of hip hop, that we was getting away from the political perspective, because we all embraced all type of music.
Right.
It wasn't the cats in Brooklyn was better than Bronx. Now you had the South Bronx versus Queens. Of course, that was the era of dissing. But as a culture, we embraced everybody. So it wasn't like, the 90s are better than the 80s, because hip hop kind of was, the inception was the 80s. Without the 80s, you wouldn't have the 90s. So it's like comparing the son against the dad. You can't do that.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, no, I do.
So I'm not going to say what's best now. For me, what's more influential was the 80s, because, I seen it when it hit the streets. I was on the streets playing basketball when the first radio came down the street playing Super Rhymes. And I'm like, and I seen it take place. I used to hang it on the Deuce. Everybody know about the Deuce, Central Park, when hip hop was on the streets. We used to freestyle in the high schools in the 70s, beating on the tables before, it was even played on the radio.
Yeah.
That's my inception, into hip hop. But there wasn't like a comparison. There was a progression. I think is a better word. There was a progression of the involvement of hip hop. But you can't really compare the eras, because, the 80s was the roots. That was the beginning. Grandmaster Melly Mel. I mean, there's never been a better record than The Message has ever been made. And everything has stemmed from the message. As far as hip hop,
I got one thing to interject on The Message. They don't give Eric Fletcher the credit he deserves, because he wrote the majority of The Message, and Mel's verse actually came from a verse that he wrote on Super Rhyming.
No doubt. Respect that. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, definitely. You're right. Matter of fact, you can hear that same verse on another record.
Mel just delivered that bitch, though. Mel delivered that motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And like I said, the diss part of hip hop, it was true, because like I said, he kind of murdered Run DMC. But as far as the politics back then, it was like, nah, we're not gonna go against each other because everybody's against us. We're not gonna tear each other down because everybody's against us in our culture. So, even the diss thing was kind of like, nah, man, we're not really on that. So when I diss you, we shook hands afterwards. Like if we had a fist fight in the streets, we shook hands. This was the political perspective of hip hop. Like, nah, too many people coming against us. We don't have nothing. We poor. We living in a ghetto. So why I'm gonna take from you when you don't have nothing and I don't have nothing? That was the essence of hip hop.
I want you to hold that. Hey, I need you to hold that, because we're gonna come back to that.
But I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, DJ Leon, I hear you saying, no, we were together. But at what point did we divide? Because we did. It was West Coast versus East Coast. And then, like Pearl said, the South was trying to fit in. And it was a rivalry at one point, just being with. So at what point did we come to that?
That's a good question, man.
The hip hop didn't do that. The media did that. Tupac in the West Coast would have never heard about Biggie and what he was saying if it wasn't for the media propagating that feud. Hip hop had nothing to do with that.
But it was a part of hip hop.
Well, you sure about that?
I'm absolutely positive about that, because I'm saying they propagated that feud. They propagated the feud.
The media. I'll say this. I'll say this. The media had a hand into it, but the media did not. The media did not create that.
No, I didn't say created. I said they propagated it. They propagated that feud.
Yeah, They had something to do with it.
Okay,
But
I
real
want to
talk,
know.
being somebody that was from that era, being somebody that was from, New York, New Jersey, and somebody that was DJing heavy and getting them records
No doubt.
sent to me by them labels.
That's
I
what I
know
was
what was
gonna
going on. I mean, I know what they was putting out.
I
You know
want
what I
that's
mean?
my question. That's my next question. How much did DJs play a part in the East West? But hold, Sean, DJ Abel. I want to ask you, what's the when you rock a party? Yeah, we're gonna get to this, but I do want to hear what he had to say about the eras. Like what's the set? You can just go throw on. You can like play 5-6 records from that era, and it's gonna rock your party.
Okay. Any Biggie records are always gonna rock. Snoop records are always gonna rock. But I want to actually touch back on this whole the battle thing and the competition.
Let's get
Honestly,
it. I'm trying to be diplomatic.
if you really want to be fair and honest, New York City has always had a competitiveness that started with each other. If you
That
wasn't from the
part.
Bronx, you was bouncing somebody from Queens. If you wasn't from Queens, you was from Brooklyn. It was always one borough saying it was better than another. And New York stayed on that. And even when hip hop branched outside of
They
New York,
still
then it was
on
New
that.
York versus
They
Philly.
still on that.
Still on that. They still on that.
But however, when we was competitive, it was a more clever competitiveness. Like if I diss you like the Busy Bee Mo D diss, they end up becoming, doing records together. It wasn't like I'm dissing you and I want to kill you.
But
That
it
was
was.
the type of competitiveness.
It was.
Yeah,
If you
but
think of Jay-Z and Nas, that
No. That's 2000 Jay-Z. Now we still in the 80s. I'm talking about the inception.
Well,
On the
I mean,
inception, when I rhymed, it was like my rhyme's better than yours. It ain't I'm rhyming so I could shoot you in the face or I could shoot you in the back.
The original question was, when did we shift? So
I think the shift came when the media, when hip hop became global, when it became a global commodity. And like I say, I think the radio stations figured out we can eat. We can eat on the propagations of pitting one against the other. They've been doing that against our culture for a long time. Think about it. I'm just being real.
Amongst African Americans, period. But a lot of their beefs, and even if you look at their documentaries and things that they say, were against each other. It had nothing to do with the media.
Well, I mean, even if you like my man was saying, Nino was saying, like different boroughs was going against each other. Even in Philly, the Philly rappers had something to say. Even in Jersey, the Jersey rappers had something to say. But the competitiveness wasn't to the point where it was propagated where it's going to be major beef the way it was with Biggie and Tupac. It wasn't on that level until the radio stations got their hands in it. To me,
a clear answer. My question was, when did that start? When did the West Coast, East Coast, South, when did that start? That was my original question.
It started with the song by J. Rule. I think that started the beef. J. Rule got an album that said the sun rises in the east on his album. That's the initiator of the East Coast, West Coast battle.
Okay, who responded? Who responded?
Hold on. After that, you had Tim Dog. Tim Dog is Compton. And then that's when the response came from Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre.
Yeah, I remember that.
But what I'm saying is, New York as a culture, a lot of records that we had in New York, New Jersey, and I know Nino could testify to this, it never got out the tri-state area because we didn't want it out the tri-state area. A lot of our little internal stripes or whatever, it's so many records that y'all haven't heard outside of that area, it's ridiculous. Unless you came to New York and got you a crate of records and brought them to different places.
Okay, so let's go there. When did New York, because New Yorkers beef with each other. Right. So at what point did they get out of beef?
It was my rhyme versus your rhyme. That was our beef. It wasn't like I'm finna kill you or cut you. It was I could out rhyme you.
It progressed. So at what point did New York, if we're gonna keep it there, did they start to do this global against each other?
New York didn't do it. I was trying to tell you, I was living on the streets. New York never did it.
You just told me in the 2000s they did it with Jay-Z versus Nas. So at what point did you
we got to stay in the 80s first for you to understand where I'm coming from. That's 2000. that was progressed after the Tupac and Biggie.
Let me say this.
Jay-Z, well, let me break it down. Jay-Z and Nas was 90s. You know what I mean? That was in the 90s. Jay-Z and Nas was in the
late
90s.
Late
90s. The reason Tim Dog put the song F Compton out was because California started popping. All right, California started popping like in the mid to late 80s. You know what I mean?
NWA,
Eazy-E, NWA, they started getting major play in New York. They started getting major play in New York.
No doubt.
All right, then Tim Dog came out with the song F Compton because he like, yo, we New York, you know, we the Mecca, you know what I mean? We don't care about them. You know what I mean? So he put his song out.
Hey, let me ask you something. Do you think that was smart for Tim Dog to do?
Of course. It was smart for him. Tim Dog was nobody at the time. Didn't nobody care about Tim Dog at the time. You know what I'm saying? But he put that song out and it put a lot of eyes on him. You know what I'm saying? So they like, oh, all right. Then the people in New York, New Jersey, Philly area started playing that. That was like a rallying cry for East Coast hip hop at the time.
If we talk about hip hop and battle, let me just say, to me, one of the best battles in hip hop was in New York. From when I was growing up, what I know was to be a good battle, and I don't think they were going to kill each other. The Juice Crew and BDP was like, to me, that was the first time I was introduced to just KRS-One, period. That's when I was introduced to, you know, battle rapping.
And to piggyback off what you said, Nino, and I totally agree. I totally agree to that point. But gangster rap was actually started by Just Ice and KRS-One. That was the original gangster rappers. We had every element of hip hop, and we didn't want it to get out.
Schoolie D myself.
Definitely Schoolie D. Definitely, Schoolie D and Just Ice, KRS.
What's the other guy? Cool G Rap though, yo. Like Cool G Rap was.
Cool G Rap's after.
But I'm just speaking. I'm speaking to when I got in the game. We didn't like New York rap down here. I'm gonna just keep it gangster with you. But I did.
And real talk. Up our way, we ain't rock with y'all down south. You know what I'm saying? It took. Well, we like Luke. Let's say that we like Luke.
I didn't like Luke.
And we like Magic.
We like Luke.
I like Luke.
I didn't like Luke. I mean, no disrespect to Luke. I love you, Luke. That's not what I'm saying. At the time,
we rock Luke in the club because you know you can mix Luke with the freestyle and the disco easy. And Planet Rock, you know, so we rock. We definitely rock with Luke.
Luke got love. You know what I'm saying? Let me just say this. It took a minute. And I can just speak from my point. Somebody that was kind of on the radio at that time. It took a while for the Outkast to kind of break through. You know what I'm saying? Even though Outkast is major. It kind of took a minute.
I think I was one of the few who liked Outkast.
Yeah, see, Abel's different. Abel like that eclectic. Yeah, man. Me, I'm like, nah.
Why?
It took me a minute to warm up to Outkast.
I tell you, like, I have family in Georgia, so when I went to go visit, I would hear what was hot down there. As a matter of fact, one of the first DJs down there that I used to hear, like Southern hip hop from, DJ Nav and this dude DJ Jelly.
No question.
Yeah. Shout out to Nav. Shout out. Yes, sir.
So I used to hear a lot of that Southern hip hop way before it got up north. And when I would play it, they would give me I'm like, I'm telling y'all, this is coming. I laughed at first too, but then I started hearing it and liking the melodies and the cadence and the style. I'm like, yo, this is coming. This is gonna. I like this. And next thing you know, that's when Andre made his statement. The South got something to say, and it was done.
That part.
Let me speak on a Southern rapper that I heard before, Outkast. Like I grew up listening to HBI. I know y'all remember WHBI. When they used to have the live on-air battles, the Awesome Two, you know, world famous Supreme Team. And to speak to that young lady point, all this is happening in the 80s when they battling live on the radio. No editing, no nothing. I used to go back and forth from the north to the south, from New York down here to Atlanta. And I met this Atlanta rapper way before Outkast who actually had a style that personified the South. His name is Icy Pearl. I also met Kilo and I met Raheem. I also knew Nabs. So that was my first, you know, my first vision of a Southern rapper. It was Icy Pearl. I mean, he was straight Atlanta. He was anti-New York. He had a Southern style. He had the braggadocio. He had all the elements of hip hop, but he did it in a Southern way, and he had no shame in the game with it. And I had to give him props on this. He don't like to admit that, but he was my first true Southern rapper that I met down here. And I was like, yo, there was a lot of New York rappers, and there was a lot of rappers down here trying to act like it was from New York, but Pearl was he was from Atlanta, and he was proud to say it. And he don't speak on that.
Them niggas was walking around lying on their parents and shit, talking about they from Brooklyn, and I was like, nigga, I'm from Atlanta. I know I'm the first rapper to say I'm a Grady baby, but I don't care nothing about that. Dre said that? When Dre said that, it did something to me, and it did something to a lot of people. And I think that's the best thing about hip hop is, for me, is to get a chance to see it turn back around, man. Y'all don't know how I feel. It's kind of like I'm a slave, like back in the days. Like that's what I don't mean it in that way. It's not that bad. I'm just we got treated like shit, man. He said, Luke, they were playing that type of music in our city, but we had our own sound, and we couldn't even get our DJs to fuck with us. And it took people from New York to say, nah, y'all got niggas like right here, for them to even give us a shot. But man, I tell you what though, I'm so proud of the city though, man. Irregardless of what's going on with these kids, because guess what? It's a group of kids coming. This shit, I can see it like the next 10, 15 years. Not to say that nobody else ain't doing their thing, because shit, everybody popping right now. It's like, I don't think hip-hop is better than it's ever been, in my opinion. And that was one of the questions. This can lead to that. How do y'all feel about the state of hip-hop? Abel, how do you feel about the state of hip-hop and where it is right now today?
Honestly, a lot of the music I'm not really big on, but I love that they're making the money that the other artists back then they didn't get to make. I love that there's enough intelligence in the game now that they're getting the maximum dollar that the other artists didn't get. I love that.
Right. I mean, yeah. I love that, but I feel like it should be like a fund or something set aside for those that did it before them. And I know I'm biased, I'm old, but shit, I just feel like these guys, and I don't know, man. I never wanted to talk like this, but I mean, it's cool to be the kids that do the little hop dancing on the basketball court and shit, but don't forget like them dogs that was out there really like, and they weren't getting them by $800,000 a year, and they was bleeding Isaiah Thomas them and shit like that. I just think it's not enough homage paid to those guys, and I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but didn't KRS, he tried to start a union for hip hop. I think back in the 90s, he wanted to kind of formulate a union.
I remember that.
Because I was one of those beneficiaries of those 6 cent contracts, if y'all know what I mean.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was signed to Warner Brothers. So yeah, we definitely was getting dirt. But that goes back to my original thing. Like, we wasn't really in it for the money in the 80s. This was our jewel. We didn't want it to evolve outside of New York City and the Tri-Borough area. This was our music. Just like when you went to Studio 54, what went down on Studio 54 as far as the freestyle and the disco, we didn't care if another DJ from Cincinnati or whatever. The house music was the same way as Chicago. This was their music, and music was our culture. Right. I mean, we wasn't, we didn't have nothing, so we really didn't care to have, we didn't aspire to really be millionaires through music. We aspired, this was our therapy because we was living in such rough times.
Kiki, I'm sorry, Lee, but I just thought about something about, do you think, Lee just made me realize, New York hadn't had it in a while. Do you think some of these rappers are bitter about it? Like some of these guys are bitter about the fact that, because New York is a prideful place to be. Like, and Lee just made me realize something. Hip hop was their music, just like in DC. What's the name of that shit in DC? What they do?
Go.
So I can't imagine DC. Like, what if the world would have took on Go-Go? You understand what I'm saying? I wonder, like, our New York guys. I'm not gonna ask neither one of you guys up north guys because y'all play music from everywhere. But I throw this out to anybody out there. Are people bitter about this? Like, I mean, you know, the people up in New York, are they bitter?
Absolutely. I think it's all absolutely. And what I love about the South is we kicked in the door. You don't have to accept us. We coming. And I love that about us. I love that we did that, right? Everywhere you go, I went to Vegas and they were playing like the hyphy music. And I'm like, hey, can I hear such and such? And he was like, nah. Everywhere you go, they got their own vibe, right? Every DJ got their own set, what they're going to play because they know they're proud, right, where they are. But I do think that New York got a little, because the South took it for a minute. We took it back. We took it. We had some.
The South put them in a headlock, to be honest. They put them in a headlock because now there are so many rappers in New Jersey that are rapping like they're from down south.
I don't have a problem with it either.
The production is influenced by the Southern sound that's been popular for like the last 15 years. So of course they're trying to emulate. And they think about it, the kids who grew up during the era when the South was hot, that means they're going to be influenced by that sound. So they're going to sound similar to what they were listening to when they were the youngsters. So I get it.
I mean, it's crazy. I don't know. I mean, Nees, what you think? Do you think because here's what I know. Diddy, guys like that, you know, the big hitter, the big heavy hitters, they stay down here, man. They stay down here. They got down, but I do hear it sometimes, like from the older rappers, like you still hear the jokes. They ain't as bad as they was when I was coming up. They used to give me hell, man, and I fought like fuck. I swear to God, I fought like fuck. I don't care nothing about the credit and that. I'm just proud to know that we got it. But I tell y'all the truth. Like, I mean this shit from the bottom of my heart. My big brother know. I fought like hell. Like before Dre said it. Before Dre said that, I was already 10 years in that fight.
Before Dre said that, you got to understand there was a certain amount of arrogance to being an MC from New York. I mean, that's what made you an MC from New York. You had to be arrogant. I mean, but at the same time, we embrace good music. You know, we embrace funk. We embrace soul music.
Who's my favorite rapper?
The last poets.
Who's my favorite rapper? Who's my favorite rapper? Who's my
Run DMC.
Fucking no, but particularly who though? Run. I wanted to be Run.
Definitely.
I wanted that mother. Run was
our debate, Pearl. That was our debate. It was like Run DMC versus Kumo D. I think we used to debate all the time.
Out of here. Fuck Run. I was that shit. When we went to see, my big brother took me to see fucking LL Cool J, fucking Fat Boys, UTFO.
Yeah, that concert was crazy. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That sounded like the Fresh Fest. Was that the Fresh Fest?
No, that was before the Fresh Fest, man. It was in the Omni. It was a show. It had check this out. It was the late 80s. It had KRS. It had Houdini. It had LL. It had Mo D. Man, it had everybody for $10. That's when Mo D came up out the stage in the rocket ship with the glasses on, man. Yo, it was crazy. I'm telling you, it was crazy.
I never seen no shit like that.
Yo, KRS did the Jimmy, because he had Cool DJ Red Alert on stage with him. The J, the I, the M. It's like 88, 89.
That's
to me,
88.
Yeah,
that's like 88.
So that was, to me, was important part of important culture segment. 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. Because you seen the bridge, you seen the things happening, and then the West Coast came.
Hey, it means imagine I was in high school, 10th, 11th grade, talking about the bridge is over, because I was an MC now, and I want like when KRS once, it was one line KRS said, I fell off Run. That nigga said, you know what you need to learn. No, not that one. What did he say? What did he say about my name is KRS One? I'm still kind of young. I don't wear Adidas because my name ain't Run.
I mean, this was part. This everybody was dissing. I mean, if you listen to just about every record that came out from the Fearless Four, there was little disses in the record. You know, that's part of the culture. You had to be arrogant, man.
We was dissing. I swear to God, we would. You couldn't even come around us. You had to have balls. You had to. But yo, I want to ask y'all, like in the '80s, what was it like in Atlantic City? Because Lee was down here with me. What was it like up in Atlantic City as far as the hip hop movement? And give me some of your artists, some of your big artists.
Well, I can tell you back in the '80s, the early '80s, especially, one of the last spots that was like a phenomenal spot was Club Harlem. Club Harlem was a famous club, which I would say was probably the equivalent to Apollo as far as the legendary artists that appeared.
Facts.
So during the last years of that club, it was during the hip hop generation, and we got to see the people that are legends now. They got to start performing on that stage, and I'm talking about LL, Grandmaster Flash Furious 5, UTFO, Salt and Pepper, Schoolie D, and a number of Dougie Fresh, a whole lot of the golden age of hip hop. A lot of those artists performed in Atlantic City as their location, when they got started.
That's it.
So Atlantic City got a nice history of early hip hop artists coming to our town. As a matter of fact, Gangstar and Nice and Smooth shot the video for one of their best songs, Dwick, in Atlantic City.
Oh, I didn't know that. Shout out to Gangstar. I was
Definitely.
All right, guys, I want to do this. I said I wasn't gonna do this, but I do want to do this. We did it on the last little thing we did with Abel and Kiki. We did it. We were having fun. People don't like to do this, but I want y'all to do this for me, man. I stayed up. I couldn't sleep, man, thinking about this. Hey, I appreciate y'all coming to do this. Nino, man, thank you, man. Abel, man, I appreciate the fun in my brother Lee, man. This is big. This is three great minds on this hip hop shit, and Kiki, my little sister, is fucking right here with us, and it's big for me. I love this shit, but I want y'all to get your pen and pad out if you got it, because I'm gonna throw that big bro first. Let's do order too. Top 5 lyricists. Let's do
Dead Alive or just your favorites?
Yeah, my favorite 5 all time. Let's do it in order, 1 through 5. Big brother.
I'm gonna say Biggie, my number 1. This is lyricist, right? I'm gonna say Nas. I'm gonna say Nas number 2. I'm gonna say
Whoa. Let's go artist, because if it's your favorite artist, it could be. Okay. I don't want. Yeah, let's do artists.
Okay, if we do artists, then I'm gonna change that up. Then artists, I'm gonna go with Biggie. I'm gonna go with Jadakiss. I'm gonna go with Nas. I'm gonna go with the R, Rakim, and I'm gonna go with KRS-One.
That's not bad.
That's tough.
That is tough.
Nino.
All right. For me, it's Jay-Z. Then a huge gap to the next person. You know what I'm saying? Then a huge gap to the next person. And real talk, I think I may make that Rakim today, because he kind of changed hip hop. He kind of changed the sound in the direction of hip hop. So I got to keep him high. I got Busta Rhyme up there, because he's been doing this a long time. His catalog is crazy.
Respect.
Then I start to think. Then I'm in that segment where it depends on how I feel. Like, you know what I mean? Missy. Let me put Missy up there. You know what I mean? Because her catalog is crazy.
Artist,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna throw Missy up there because her catalog is crazy. And to finish this out, let's put let's throw KRS-One up there just because.
Yeah, not bad.
That's a good list. That's a strong list.
Because strong.
That's strong. Let me hear your strong. Let me hear your strong 5.
All right. This is my favorite, all 5 today, because this shit can change tomorrow.
That part.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna go with Rakim because he literally there was nobody like him before him, and everybody changed after him.
Big facts, man. Big facts.
So I'm going with that. This is gonna be tough. Number 2, probably gonna go with Big Daddy Kane because he was always that dude that just had everything. He was Jay-Z before Jay-Z.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
as far as writing for other artists, always having the verse that everybody would argue he had the best verse when he was going against Cool G. He just had the look.
He was a player too. He was a player.
Style. He was a player, but he also had some conscious lyrics in a lot of his songs.
Absolutely.
And he just, like I said, I think his influence can be seen in Jay-Z and Biggie, to be honest. So that's what I'm going with. Next, my favorite female MC, MC Light. Love MC Light. Love her.
Good call.
Her pen game is impeccable.
That was good, Abel.
And let's see, I got 2 more. The last 2. This is tough. DMC has always been my favorite MC. Mainly because he wore glasses. I like this. He looked like me. Nerdy dude that wore glasses that could rhyme.
Right.
Hey, bro. That part. With the glasses.
He made glasses cool for me. So he automatically gets a spot. And my last MC is probably gonna be this is tough. I'm probably gonna go with Nas.
You can't lose with Nas, man. You know.
No question.
Can't lose with Nas. I don't like that. No, let me stop. Yeah.
Yo, I got a prop, bro. I got a prop. You got a prop.
What's that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all right.
That album was tough.
That album was
no
tough.
skip.
That album was tough.
No
That
skip.
album was tough. As let's put it like this, as a DJ, real talk, there's only 3 Nas songs you can play. And that's unfortunate. Real talk, there's really only 3 Nas songs you play.
No question.
Because he don't have them. He don't have.
What is it though? What name the 3? I don't give you
one is the you can play Uchi Wally. You know what I'm saying? You can play Uchi Wally. You can play,
which technically is not a Nas record.
Yeah. Technically, it's not. Real talk. It's really not a Nas record. You can play the joint he has with Genuine Yomi. You can play that.
Yeah, play that. I get away with playing Nas's Light. I get away with that.
Nas is you're not playing that down here. You know what I'm saying? Up there, I could probably get away with that piece. You know what I'm saying? But real talk, that may be it. That may be it. A Nas record you can kind of play.
Kiki, what you got?
Listen, I am a diehard Biggie fan. I still listen to 10 Crack Commandments going to work.
That's one of my favorite songs in life.
I live by those commandments, and I'm not talking about in the streets. I live by them, period. Okay?
No!
And I love Jigga. I am a Jadakiss fan, diehard. Okay? I'm also a Remy fan. I love Remy Ma. Ain't no lyric for a woman. The way she put it together, I love her. Salute her and Lil' Kim. I grew up with her, so I love Kim. And I'm gonna say this for North Carolina, the baby. I love the baby. I can ride to the baby. You can put it on the club. You can go to the street. The baby is it, and he lived it.
Hometown though, I fuck with that. You supposed
we gonna do that for Charlotte. I'm in North Carolina. We're gonna represent North Carolina today.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna keep it real. I like Run. Run. If it wasn't for Run, I would have did what I did. So Run. I ain't even doing no in the order. I can't do it. Run, Jigga, Andre 3000,
Ooh, that's
I mean, he's the most disrespected artist to ever do this shit, and he's humble about it. But if you call him for a feature, he gonna burn that hole. I promise you.
No doubt.
Shit, man. You know, I'm finna say. KRS One, cause shit, man. God damn, I don't. You know what? I got Jigga in there. I want to take KRS One out. I want to put Pac in there. Cause what Pac did, Pac had the streets like fucked up. Pac, hey man, I was out there in those streets, man. When Pac was, when Pac was. And then while I'm on Pac, you know what my last one is? Is that 4? Yeah, that's 4. Pac, Snoop Dogg don't get enough motherfucking love. Yo, the summer of 19, whatever summer when he dropped that gin and juice shit, man, we was getting that money, man, to that shit. And I remember we was riding my partner Regal, man, and it was 3 of us. It was my partner, he was driving, and it was a nigga on each one. That's how we used to do in the city. We clean, we ride, everybody leaving. When the part come on, everybody got their cup and they ain't chipped in. But don't be that nigga that ain't chipped in, man. Yeah, that money. It was just something about that pride, and we were getting that money. But yeah, Snoop Dogg, he don't get it. Snoop put his shit together nice. He don't get enough credit. So I'm gonna go with the West. So I said who I said Jigga, Andre 3000, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, and who was my other one? Fuck. Oh no.
KRS One, KRS.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. That's the fifth one.
Well, let me ask you this: since you were talking about artists that are underestimated, you know, we'll call them that. For me, that artist is Papoose. I think he's a monster.
Oh my God.
He is a monster. Yeah, okay, I put him in any cipher and bet all my money on him. So who do you all think is underestimated that didn't get the respect that they deserve in the game?
Good question. I said it. I still, even though everybody always talk about him, but we get lost. Dre 3000, man. I'll say that forever. Okay. The South got something to say.
I'm gonna say Master Ace and Big L.
That's right.
Master Ace. Master Ace is solid. He's still solid.
Definitely. And I think Big L, as far as lyricists, I don't think nobody had punchlines like Big L ever in the history of hip hop.
See, I got that list coming. We're gonna talk about the day, but yes, definitely Big L.
I'm real talking. I'm thinking because I'm trying to get this real thought. I'm going to say somebody that actually did do some stuff, but I think they're underrated as well. I'm saying Luda. You know what I'm saying?
Luda be busting shit for real.
Yeah, Luda
don't ever get put on somebody's.
Luda's literally never on the list. You know what I mean? When they talk
and
about
he
people
held his pin up against some of the best, because one of my favorite Luda songs is the one he did with Jay-Z and Nas. Yeah. And I think his verses was just as tight.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he'd be working for because niggas be sleeping on him. You're right. That's a good call.
Yeah. I rock with Luda, so I think he's a little slept on.
My brother probably gonna kill me. He think I'm taking over, but do y'all like me? I miss a good cipher, like when you could just get out there and go. So back in the day, I didn't even know if my brother knew this. I was a rapper, right? Growing up, I would never battle women because they were too sensitive for me.
I'm gonna get you.
I had to battle men, right? Did it at a Monica concert, won the battle, got to go backstage with men. Don't y'all just miss a good cipher where they can just get in there and go without the pen and the pad and just go?
Hey,
I mean, real talk. They don't do that no more. You know, they can't because they can't. Like, all you got is the battle circuit. They do that, but regular rappers don't.
I gotta be honest. Battle circuit is kind of boring to me.
After a while.
Yeah. I love it.
I see what you're saying though. For the sport of it, for the sport.
Just you had Tigger, you know, in the basement. You know what I mean? You had, you had major rap artists come there and show bars. You know, Lil Kim, Foxy, you had Jay-Z, you had all the major artists.
That
come
shit
there
was
and show
made
their
for that
post.
And that was the best part. I still listen to Funk Master Flex. Like, give me something. I need something. I don't need the circus music.
Let me tell y'all.
I'm going to give you something not to watch. Do not watch MTV's new Rap City, new basement. You know what I mean? Do not watch that. They got a new basement.
I didn't even do that. They should have did that.
Yeah, you don't.
I ain't even know nothing about that.
Yeah, you don't.
It's
You
that bad.
don't want to watch that. You don't want to. You don't want
I'm
to
not
watch
watching that, and I'm not watching the new Yo.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, that's what I'm talking. You don't watch the new Yo, and you don't want to watch the new basement.
I'm fine with my memories of what it used to be.
Yeah, you don't want to.
But
watch
DJ Leon, you're from New York, right?
I'm from Jersey City.
So listen, back in 2005, I went to Brooklyn and I battled in the stairwell. And yeah, they had to pay me. Men didn't want to pay me my money, but I ate. From North Carolina, they didn't like us, but I ate. You hear me? So I know you understand what I'm saying, cypher and battle rap, because that was the thing for you all.
Let it go by both of you. I was for the time. Let it go by both of you.
Well, I'm going to take them back to the 70s. Like I said, it was 1976 for me, 77, Snyder High School, Jersey City. We met in the cafeteria, and we had the y'all remember the toilet paper roll things? We came in there, that was our microphone, the toilet paper things. Right? Yeah. And that was the mic. And we was battling right there in the cafeteria. Nobody was eating lunch. We was battling. This was like in the 70s. So the cypher has always been a great part of hip hop. If you listen to some of the great cypher records, like the Fearless 4 Freestyle, Funky 4 Plus One More. There's a bunch of them out there where, they're cypher records and stuff. And so that's where the cypher kind of came from. Those records and us battling back in the 70s. Because, even the break dancers, you got the breakdance crew, they would meet up and they would battle. Yeah. And they would shake hands and they would go home.
Hip hop.
That's hip hop.
That's hip hop.
They don't, I want to say this. What was it, 85 or 86? The summer of 86, Gresham Road, it's a famous road in Decatur, man, off of Gresham Road, Boulder. Man, my man, the basement, we did it first. DJ Leon's father, crib, his dad was dope. Pop, man, shout out to Pop. He would let us go to the basement. Lee had the whole DJ set up, and we would go in that motherfucker. And you could not come down them stairs if you didn't have it. You had to have that shit. And let me just say this too before we go, because we'll be leaving here soon. I want to say the best rapper that I've ever seen in my life is my big brother right here, up here. Hands down, Modi, fucking KRS-One, all them greats. Put him in a room with him. Lee gonna come out that bitch. I swear to God. He humble, but he taught me how to, first of all, he taught me how to construct a song. He taught me how to, everything in hip. He taught me how to mix mixing two turntables with two tape decks. Like catching, so I learned how to catch beats. So I could catch any fucking song that anybody put out. I could catch it, make my own instrumental, and I would rap to that shit. But this is the person that's why I wanted to do this for him. We're gonna do this shit once a month. But the most, this guy right here, and he did have a contract, Warner Brothers. I think the contract it was a record he made, one of the dopest shits. However, this guy was fucking crazy, and they wasn't gonna let that shit fly. Some of the stuff he was saying, it was amazing. And Lee, I gotta see if I can find that shit, but it was public.
I got it. I'll send it to you. I got another prop for y'all.
He was all that shit in one.
I got another prop for y'all. Can y'all see that?
DJ Leon, one thing you're gonna know about me is Miss Kiki's gonna give you your flowers, and for you to do all of that, and I be sitting in your presence, that is amazing, right? So I have to humbly give you your flowers while you're up here. That is amazing. Understand that.
And I would like to thank you and the panel for all of us coming together. I think something like this is positive, and for y'all good brothers to come together and good sister, I applaud y'all and I salute y'all for coming together for this great event. I really
Absolutely. Do. I want to do this. DJ Dino, let's plug your stuff, man. And brother, you man, both of y'all, man, y'all big time, man. Man, this shit mean the most to me, man. And I know I aggravate the shit out of you, Orleans, but I said you was gonna be my big brother and my cousin, depending on what day it is. When I can't get a hold of big brother, I'm gonna be bugging you, son. Listen, I just feed for the game, man. I feed for music. I love it. If it wasn't for the culture, I wouldn't be here. My big brother saved my life. I say it all the time. But Nees, where you at? What you doing? Where you at?
Yeah. You can let me give you my social media. You can find me at DJ El Nino, and you can find me and my lovely Mrs. T Quest on the T Quest Show. On Facebook, on YouTube. Check us out on youtube.com/TQuestJLM. We got quite a few shows on there for y'all to check out.
Absolutely.
Right?
And she's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, at TQuestJLM. Look the boss lady.
Shout out to my sister. Shout out
Yeah.
T Quest, man. For real, man. They're doing some good stuff over there. My big brother, Leon, the one turned me on to amazing thing, man. Hey, Bo, where you at, baby?
Yes, sir. I'm right here. Well, you can find me on Facebook. Real name Sean Wright, aka DJ Abel. On Instagram, it's on Liquid Flow Inc. And if you tune into the radio online, or if you're ever up this way, WLFR 91.7 FM. Matter of fact, Nino is alumni of WLFR.
Facts.
And as a matter of fact, when I was at the DJ convention, a lot of people was looking for you, man. They was expecting to see you.
I know. I got some people that hit me up. You know what I mean? I got some people that hit me up. Like, you gonna be here? I'm like, not this year. You know what I mean? But,
Yo, tag me. I want to know the station. I want my people to be able to get to it. So tag me. I'll come find it though. Straight up. We got to do this again, guys. Because we got a lot more to talk about. I got some more lists. Miss Kiki got something to say. Let everybody know. Hey, I'm mad at you. You ain't tell me. We got to talk. I'm going to call you soon.
But DJ Abel, I want to give you your flowers too. Like, your energy is amazing. We talked 2 times, and your energy, your vibe is just like, I love it. Keep that energy, keep that glow. I don't care what you got going on. Keep that in you. So I am Miss Kiki. The brand is Miss Kiki Got Something to Say. So when people approach me, you gotta say Miss Kiki, we talking business. You can find me on social media, Chiquita, just like the banana, young. And I have a page, Miss Kiki Got Something to Say. I am a professional life coach. I'm certified. I am a veteran. I'm a United States Air Force veteran. I served 11 years.
Salute you.
Thank you. You can find me on Instagram, Miss Kiki, just like it is on the screen, Young, YOUNG, one word. Thank you, guys.
And you can find her 2 days a week on Let Me Kick My Shit with Pearl and Friends show.
Okay.
And thank you for your service, Miss Kiki. Thank you for your service. I'm a retired Air Force as well. So I knew it was something.
That's what I'm talking about.
I got another prop real quick. Only built for Cuban links, y'all. Only built for Cuban links. Yo, check me out on Facebook, www, DJ Leon, Spencer Graham. And yo, if y'all get a chance, check out the Rock the Bell show on Sirius XM, man. They playing some authentic hip hop. Sirius XM channel 43 on Rock the Bell's radio. Check it out every day.
All right, there it is. That's what it is. Hey, I'm gonna invite y'all again, man. Next month, I'm gonna bring some artists on. I want to bring a couple of rappers on, and see if we can get their perspective. I want to talk about the next time we get on here the relationship between the rapper and the DJ. That's an interesting topic to talk about. But once again, man, amazing show. Keep it keep it right at an hour. Great job, man. I love y'all, and I finna throw this thing up right now, man.
So go. No, he's throwing props up. Let me throw my prop up. Can I throw my prop up?
Yeah, let's do
Can I throw my prop up?
Go, DJ Nino.
What's that?
Can I do that?
That's
Hell yeah, blow it up. Hey, man, congratulations, whatever that is.
Thank you, DJ Here, DJ Nino in the building.
Hey, show me something else. Show me another one, because I know you got more.
I got they over the thing. I got like five more.
Hey, you know what?
Congrats.
I don't know why we need to celebrate that shit, because
Absolutely.
hey, don't be that humble, bro. You should have brought that up when we just had you on the show last week. That's why I fuck with y'all. Everybody up here humble though. We got this is a distinguished panel right here. Hey, y'all make me feel like a real whatever I'm supposed to be here. And I love that shit.
Yo,
I'm gonna be myself. I'm gonna do my thing. Abel, appreciate you. I want to do a record with you, man. That's why I keep asking you about music. I want to. Hey, Neves, I didn't know you was making
Well,
records.
Nino know about the record making process. We got songs we did that still sound good.
Facts.
I'll put our catalog up against anybody that's out now.
Yeah,
I ain't even got
facts.
that. I just want to hear it. Hey, check it out though. So I'm finna hit y'all up. I want to see what you're talking about. But Atlanta State of Mind, man, everywhere screaming everywhere, man. Y'all go get it. And people that watch both of their shows, call DJ Abel's show and tell him to play the Pearl song, man.
No doubt.
Play the Pearl song, man. I did a fact check. My man Neves, man, y'all show love, man. Play that shit. Is hot. I need to send a record to you, sister, so you can get your rapping ass. I didn't even know you rapping, man. Hey, man, I love y'all. Man. Good job. I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm finna throw it up on the tag, everybody. Let's get this money, man. I'll see y'all, man.
Love you, baby.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Kiki.
Love you, baby.